Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of the Showseph. As always, I'm your host with the most. If Joseph, we have a very specialized episode for you today. We're going to be talking about maxing. Everybody's maxing. This is a new phenomenon. People they call it maxing, where you go full maximal effort into one area, one subject, one type of thing you're doing. I've been reading about this stuff. I've been seeing it pop up. I might have even partaken in some maxing myself, and I'm sure a lot of you have too, whether you know it or not. Let's get into it. These all sorts of different maxing. Everybody's doing different types of maxing. Let's see what we got down here. We got this. Let's talk about it. Okay. By far the most popular, the earliest one, at least that I've heard of, is Looksmaxxing. This is what they call Looksmaxxing. Is where you see these guys online. They pursue having the perfect face, the perfect features, the sculpted, perfect body, healthy. I don't even know if healthy is a part of it. I think it's just pursuing the perfect ideal looks, because I know they take a lot of drugs and supplements and things that probably aren't best for their bodies. So I don't know if health is necessarily a part of it, but definitely, the looks, looking beautiful, looking sexy. The whole idea behind it is that the better you look, the further you'll go in life. That's what they talk about, like the golden ratio or whatever, that people they have a higher chance of getting a job interview or pursuing status in life if they are more attractive, better looking. Kind of like, the movie The Substance is where this girl takes the substance to look younger and to look more beautiful, and that she's able to go further. This has been a topic that's a test of time. People have been talking about this idea of youth and beauty for ages. Aphrodite, the Greeks, whatever. This is what they were in pursuit of as well. Eternal youth and beautiful looks. Listen, everybody wants to look good. Everyone wants to look beautiful. I've received so many comments of people who have told me how disgusting and old I look for a 27-year-old, which is understandable because I do. This isn't what 27-year-olds look like, apparently, and I understand that. I can't. I have I have pathos or whatever. I have no ego. I can accept that I don't look like a 27-year-old, typical 27-year-old, and I'm still trying to Looksmaxx. So maybe whatever the correct route for me to do it. I'm not doing it well. I'm not doing a good job at Looksmaxxing, but I don't. I mean, there's no harm in trying to look better, especially, feel better about yourself. If you think that other people are going to feel a better way about you if you are Looksmaxxing, this is, a benefit that way too. What I would, caution some weary around is the taking of the drugs and the potential to harm yourself. They're like smashing their bones. They're getting surgeries. Wearing lifts in their shoes to make them look taller. I'm already 6'3", so I don't need to do all that, So maybe I am Looksmaxxing, but I think that this can be a positive for some people. Some people need it, Some people definitely look at them and are like, this guy should at least do something. So you should pursue some form of better looks, unless that's their whole thing. It's they're like, I'm ugly and I love it. I'm a ugly stand-up comedian and I don't want to pursue better looks. And if that's what you want to do, by all means. This is another popular one that I'm a fan of. I like to engage around this subject. They call it retardmaxxing. Retardmaxxing is the concept that you don't think, you just live off of your baser animalistic instinct. I don't even know if it's animalistic instinct. It's just that, and this is some of what I've preached on this channel before, is that you kind of know inside of you have all the information you need, and you just got to live, and you got to live like you're retarded. You live like you don't think, live on impulse, and don't fear the consequences. And people will say that there are some things you should think about. There are some times you should be weary of what you're doing. You should stop and think before you do some absurd action. And there probably is some cases where if you're at a fancy restaurant and you want to moon the waiter, maybe it depends on who you're with and what's going on, but maybe you don't, that's not the best every time. I think it could be funny, But if a true Retardmaxx would pursue whatever comes to their mind and they feel to do, and this kind of gets me into the next one they call Jestermaxxing, which is, I don't know too much about this one. I haven't dug too much into this one, but Jestermaxxing, what they say is you're acting like a jester. You're acting like the fool. You're going out and you're pursuing being foolish out in public around other people, either for content, for entertainment purposes. You know, you could say a stand-up comedian, that's kind of Jestermaxxing, because stand-up jester is kind of, you know, in the same realm. Or but it doesn't just have to be for content or entertainment purposes. It could just be you're acting a fool, you're acting a jester, for purely for your own entertainment, your entertainment of your friends. Again, I think if this is harmless, you're not stabbing anyone as a joke, right? Then you can get away with Jestermaxxing. I hold no judgment towards any of this, by the way. This is I think any type of, if you're maxing in anything, if you feel like you need to, if you feel more fulfilled, if you're pursuing one area or one subject of your life that you're trying to improve upon, whether it be Retardmaxxing or Looksmaxxing or any of this, I think if that's how you feel you will pursue further in life, then go right for it. You're maximizing your time on Earth. It's better than looking at the damn phone all day. All right. This one I just found out about. They call it sleep maxing, which is just you get 8 hours of sleep. I think you're just getting like what the recommended amount of sleep is. That's kind of boring and gay, if you ask me. You shouldn't be sleeping. You should be out living and hunting and fighting for food. And you should never be fully rested. You should always have a little bit of edge, a little bit of tiredness, and you got to fill up on caffeine. You can't even fucking think about, oh, I'm feeling tired, I should get my whole 8 hours. You know what's going on? While you're getting those 8 hours, the whole world is moving by, and you're sitting there sleeping. You don't need 8 hours, all right? Don't listen to the scientists. They want you to sleep 8 hours because they want to have stuff going on while you're asleep. They're over in China. They're awake, and you're sitting here sleeping in America. That's not what we do here. We are awake. So don't sleep max. I would say don't go into sleep maxing. That's boring. That's one of the boring ones. Is there any more that I think are those the big ones? Creditmaxxing. This is another one I've seen some people talk about online. Creditmaxxing is where you max out your credit essentially and just buy whatever you want. It's credit that people are so worried about credit. Everyone's like, credit, you need a good credit score, you need this and that. But like, just don't worry about that. You can fix it later. It might take a while, but you can always fix it if you want. But I also don't think you should just be like buying shit willy-nilly, because then you're just you're engaging with the pursuit of more material. And material if you're credit maxing for some benefit, then I think that's cool. That's awesome. Like, that's fun. But if you're just like racking up all this credit and debt because you want to like buy more t-shirts or whatever, like you got a couple t-shirts, like that should be fine. You shouldn't be going into credit debt over like some t-shirts or like baggy jeans. Everyone's going to the thrift store and buying baggy jeans. Shouldn't put that on credit. Anyways, that's all the different types of maxing that I've seen online. Please leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite type of maxing is. What maxing should I pursue? Should we make one up right now? Should we call it Showseph maxing, where you watch the Showseph and you subscribe? I think that's kind of good. Well, here's a good one. We call it pee maxing. It's where you pee a shit ton. You just keep peeing. I like that. Pee maxing. I'm going to drink a ton of water. We go pee for like 30 minutes. Leave a comment if you want to try pee maxing, and I'll see you next week. Big peace.